Welcome to episode 21 of Mr. and Mrs. the podcast. We've been parenting. Shit is rough. If you see any wounds on our face, scratches,
do you still have yours?
bite marks, it's from Carter. He's a vicious animal.
I thought I heard him. What is that called? Ghost cries?
Phantom cries.
Phantom cries are so real. Do you remember? You get them a lot because I feel like it's been 2 nights in a row where you're like, he's crying, check the camera. And I'm like, no, he's not.
Phantom cries is just when you're so basically traumatized from having a baby and just hearing the thing cry nonstop. You just hear crying, even if they're not crying. Even if they're not here, you just hear the baby cry.
Okay, so we have a little more structure to our episodes this week.
Nice.
And we're gonna start off every week with a rose and thorn. Do you know what that is?
No.
You don't know what a rose and thorn of the week is?
Yeah, I probably get the gist. There's
like a different saying for it. Like the peak in the pit of your week. Yeah. So you go first with should you say your rose and thorn and then I say my rose and thorn, or let's both share the rose?
Is that at the end?
No, right now. We're going to start with that.
Oh.
Or do we start with the thorn and then end on a good note with the rose?
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think of one, so I don't. Go ahead.
Okay, so what's your rose of the week?
You could go first, Nicole.
This is why I had these notes, so you could have thought about this first.
Your rose and your thorn? I mean, I didn't look at it. I didn't look at that. We can do it at the end so I get a little more time to think about it.
Sure.
If you're so no oriented, why don't you tell them your rose and your thorn?
Well, then we'll just do it together at the end.
Okay. And so you're not prepared either, probably.
I am prepared, but why would we do it separately?
Okay, my rose has been the function health thing that I'm doing, right?
Do you want to tell people about that, what it is?
Yeah, essentially function health is a health platform that was created by a bunch of doctors. The main poster child of it is Mark Hinman. I discovered it on Andrew Huberman's podcast. They basically take 100 of your biomarkers, which are pretty much the blood work that your general doctor would never do. And it's most of the blood work that it's basically the reason why someone's cholesterol could be great and they drop dead of a heart attack because they're not taking correct biomarkers. So they don't, go in depth with your blood work. I found the website on Andrew Huberman's podcast. You pay $500 for the year. They take 100 biomarkers. It's a lot of blood. And then a doctor reviews it within 3 weeks. I think they put you on some type of plan or tell you what to do, and then they retest your blood within 3 to 6 months. Also, to be subsidized if you have a general doctor. So that's my rose. My thorn is that I didn't like some of the blood work that I saw.
Yes.
But I definitely encourage people to do it. I'm going to be sending out a referral. I'm actually going to do a post and send out a referral link if it works, because I want to just get my experience down and just see, hey, can I change my blood work? And yeah, but people should definitely
look into it,
but not even that, just look into biomarkers and look into getting blood work, because you could literally be, Nicole knows because she knows me, skinny, in shape, and have underlying issues because of your genetics that you don't know. So
of course,
so yeah, it's my rose and my thorn.
Yay. See, that was easy. My rose is that we've been going to church. So going to church Sunday. That was my rose of the week. My thorn of the week is probably Carter being sick.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks. It's like right when you think he's going to get better or he's better, he goes to my gym and then boom. We were supposed to go on a my gym day all together as a family today, and then we couldn't because he was sick again.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible. You just feel helpless because it's like, what are you gonna do for a baby? They can't communicate with you. So yeah,
and he's coming off of RSV.
Yeah,
which was not fun for anyone involved. No. But I guess that's just being a parent is getting sick
I guess, yeah.
or having a sick baby all the time. And someone's always sick.
Always.
We didn't really get sick this time, right?
No.
I felt it a little in my throat, and then I was like, dang, I'm going to get sick.
Yeah,
And then
I
it went
felt
away.
a little sick, but it's hard not to get sick caring for a sick baby. So that's what I don't understand about parents and people who have like 3 kids, 4 kids. Like, it just baffles me. I'm like, what? How do you not get sick? And then you're the caretaker. So if you get sick, who takes care of the kid? So many questions I have in my head.
Well, that's why moms are amazing, because even when they're sick, they still have to get up every single day
It's crazy, yeah.
and show up for the baby. When we were at the hospital, how many parents do you think go to the hospital with their child and then like leave to get food and come back? Probably. Do you think?
A lot. I mean, if you're stuck in there all day, it makes sense. You're stuck in an emergency room. There's no, there's vending machines with all big pharma
I feel like
snacks.
we're both pretty chill though, where it's like, I don't know. I feel like if we weren't chill and we were like, oh my God, like, right? Don't you think we're like pretty chill? Like, I feel like there's other parents that are probably like so scared, don't leave my
Oh,
side.
yeah. I said that about the nurses. Their
Yeah.
job must be so hard because there's probably parents that curse them out or that just are distraught.
Yeah. Like we were chilling. We like brought backpacks. Like even Carter, who was so sick, and the reason we were there was so chill
Yeah.
the entire time we're there.
Yeah.
Like took a nap, ate some food, played, giggled.
he
Like
was
he's
good.
such a trooper. He's awesome.
He is.
I was just thinking that because I was like, oh yeah, when we were in there, you were just like, yeah, should I go get us food? Like,
Yeah, because we were starving.
brought like buffalo chicken. We're like, you were like eating chicken tenders while the doctor was in there.
I was hungry. You got to eat to live.
That's funny. So, I am interviewing people and hiring for Nick Media, and I've been talking to a lot of different people, like either fresh out of college or seniors in college. What do you think college is like with ChatGPT?
I mean, I think it's just unfair. But isn't there ways that you could, that they could check if it's ChatGPT?
I think so, but I feel like we're so far into this AI that the schools probably have to allow you to use it. And then as the teachers and as the university, you need to figure out a way to challenge them. But see, I don't see it as a bad thing because a lot of people are probably thinking, and I could be wrong, like I haven't looked into this at all, but oh, like we had to write our own essays, blah, blah, blah. ChatGPT will literally write an essay for you in 2.5 seconds. It'll do any math problem for you. It'll do X, Y, Z, right? In my mind, I'm like, okay, well, as someone who maybe doesn't believe 100% in, is that like the educational system or whatever, where I feel like we can be learning more valuable life skills in school. I think this is a good thing because it's like, okay, great. All that shit that we already were saying we don't need to know or whatever, they should be teaching us more things we'll actually use. I feel like maybe this is going to force us or force the curriculum to change because people can just use ChatGPT. And to me, I look at everything as like a tool or a resource. If we have this tool and resource, why don't we spend time like learning something else that like we can't use ChatGPT for, or we can't use the calculator?
Well, you could.
Like when when won't I have a calculator to do something?
Use ChatGPT for like anything, no?
Yes, but not necessarily. Like I still think there's, I don't know. I mean, even from a creative.
I think people who do that, who use ChatGPT, who are currently using it to get through college, are going to have very rude awakenings in the real world, because that one of the chapters in that Goggins book that I read, he said he cheated like his entire way. I think through I think high school damn near, and he kept saying in the book, you're going to figure out why this like screwed me in the end. And then when he went to go do, what is it, the Navy SEAL. He had to pass a test, and he didn't know anything because he had cheated his whole way. So he had to study.
I don't see that as cheating. Well, that's cheating. I'm saying ChatGPT is not cheating.
It's completely cheating. Yes, it is. Are you out of your mind?
Why is it just not a tool, though? Why is it not
It's
just
a
a
robot
tool?
that you could say, "Hey, write me a brief thesis paper on Socrates and make
So,
it."
okay, so that's my point. So stop asking people to write fucking papers. Ask them to
Yeah,
go
but
build a business.
those.
Ask them to go be hands-on,
Yeah,
do
of
an
course, but it
internship.
depends what type of class you're in. If you're in a literature class, like there's no other real
Yeah.
assignments. I mean, you still gotta have them read books, but no, I think most of the curriculum is like, you need to know how to structure a paper. A lot of that's good, but I think they're gonna start probably taking those out, removing those from the curriculum, like you said, because people are just gonna be cheating so much that they're like, this is stupid.
I have no idea what's happening in college, but because this has already been around for 2 years, I'm sure the university's figured out a way, whether it's
They
finding
probably
out if
know.
stuff, like someone let us know. They either can track if it's
They
been
probably could,
spit
yeah.
out through ChatGPT, or they're probably changing the way they do things where maybe it's like they don't have them do a paper because they can just do it in ChatGPT, or they have them do something more hands-on.
It's probably really tight, more tight than we think. And I bet they're able to get, because you know how stuff says AI generated? I bet they're able to just copy paste in some app that says this has been AI generated. And you're probably expelled at that point, or, get an F.
Again, if they say you're not allowed to use it. But again, the girls that I've been interviewing and stuff, and guys, some of them have said that they're allowed to use it. I don't know. I would love to learn more about how that works in college now.
That's wild.
Because you can't not have it, and you can't, I don't know. It's interesting to me, I think. I think it's probably forcing people to change the way we do school, you know?
Yeah. Let's be honest, though. Half of the stuff, no offense, that you learn in school is never really applied in real life.
So that's why I don't see it as a bad thing.
It makes you become more worldly, and, you understand culture. You get to learn about new stuff, and, but it's really not an application to life.
I want to say that 99.9% of the books I ever had to read in college, I didn't learn shit from. And I learned way more from, like, the books that I've just read.
Yeah, on your own.
On my own. That
they don't teach you about credit, about your student loans, about debt to income ratios. I mean, this is stuff they should be teaching these people about, because the kids about when they get out of school, I'm going to buy a house, and their debt to income's too high because they have student loans. It's just, it's a vicious cycle. It sucks. It really does. To be credit educated, it's, I do mortgages for a living. I see it a lot. And, before I got into mortgage, I wasn't credit educated. Nobody teaches you. Nobody, is going to care about your own credit. It's one of those things like health. You have to essentially take it into your own hands.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's college for you in high school.
Okay, so I wrote this down because I wanted to talk about it because I was so shook. Remember that SVU episode where the mom allowed the daughter to have sex when she was 16?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
This is stupid. It's television, number one. I don't like comparing real life to television, especially SVU.
But I've had friends.
But if I had a daughter, I would never. It sounds crazy for a mom or a dad, whatever, to structure a kid to have sex underage, even if they're both underage at their house. It's just irresponsible.
Yeah. I just think of obviously being a mom now, but I think of my mom when if I went to my mom and I was like, or she saw a message on my phone like I was gonna lose my virginity or whatever, she would have hit me or like been like, you're not going out, or you're bad, you're crazy, whatever it is. Not that that's necessarily the right way to parent, but there's just no way that. And then it makes me think as a parent, I personally, and everyone has their own parenting styles, I personally don't think I could do that as much, because some parents will say, I rather them do it under my roof. I rather educate them and let them know of like how to protect yourself. You could tell them, but I would also be like, but that's not it's not a smart move to do that. I want to say 99.9% of my friends who lost their virginities and everything, or all of us, you're not with the person. So it's not, in that moment, you might feel like it's your forever person, but it's not.
Parents these days are just too loose. Everything is so desensitized. Kids are on social media. They don't, back in the day, if you to see porn or like girls naked, you'd have to, find someone's dad who had a Playboy or something. Now it's just you literally log into social media and there's just porn everywhere, and everything is so desensitized. And like to me, it's crazy if you're orchestrating. If your daughter's 16, she wants to have sex, and you're orchestrating sex. It's asking for problems, I personally think. And again, they probably will do it behind your back. Okay.
Well, so that's where my question is. It's like,
out of sight, out of mind.
I almost feel like this is something I would want to happen behind my back.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah,
but I would say most
weird.
parents might be like, no, I rather know what's going on. I'm not saying don't educate your kids on like safe sex, but I'm just saying I wouldn't want to hear about it, especially you as a dad, like to a little girl, you wouldn't want to hear about it. Even with Carter, I wouldn't want to hear about it because I would just be like,
if
ew.
you catch your kid like texting and stuff like that, yeah, you got to shut him down, explain to him, whatever, all the pros and the cons, and be like, that's not happening. You're too young. Obviously, they're going to, whenever you tell kids no, they're like, damn, they want to do it more. So they're going to go do it. And it's just out of sight, out of mind. Hear no evil, see no evil. I'm all set. It's like in the show Landman that I'm watching when he caught his daughter like having sex with someone. She's older too, and he's like, she said, "Oh, I was only supposed to give him a hand job, and we ended up." And he's like, "Shut up!" And he's like, "Shut up!" And he's like, "Listen to me. I need you to lie to me from now on. You got it?" And she's like, "Sure. You want me to lie to you?" He's like, "Lie to me." It's like, I don't know. It's so weird. The world, I feel like, is just desensitized. All you see is sex. People talking about sex. And, like, I don't care who you're having sex with. That's weird. That's never been like that.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever, cared about it. Just have sex what you want to. And
yeah. I mean, I
up.
just brought it up because I was like, that's interesting in the SVU episode. My mom, I remember I was 15 years old. 16? 16 years old. I was at my boyfriend's house when I was 16. He lived in Stanford. I lived in Fairfield. And then I went, it was like a Saturday morning. I went early, innocent, early, just hanging out. A blizzard hit. And it was like a blizzard, like bad. My mom's Jeep was snowed in. Her Jeep would not pull out of his driveway. And the dad called my mom and was like, this is really dangerous. Like literally the middle of a blizzard. I don't think we've ever gotten a blizzard like that since. And she was like, no, she needs to come home right now. And I was like,
that's funny. That happened to me with one of my exes. It happened to me when we were younger. And the mom was like, nah, you got to walk home. She walked home. It was kind of close. Not really, but like few blocks.
And I was in Stanford, and then the dad had to call my mom back. Was like, your car is like literally not pulling out, and it was a Jeep.
And
that's how bad.
You stayed?
Yes, and so then he's like, oh, I spoke to her, and I was like, can you speak to my mom? And he was like, yeah, of course. He like spoke to her, and he was like, yeah, she's fine, like whatever.
In Spanish or English?
He was half Italian, half Puerto Rican. So the dad was a Puerto Rican, so maybe Spanish. And I remember he's like, yeah, like here she's fine. Like she said, it's okay. You guys just sleep in separate bedrooms, blah, blah, blah. And then he gives me back the phone. My mom's like screaming at me. I'm like, oh my God, she is not fucking fine.
What she said?
She was pissed. She was just like, what the fuck? Like, she was pissed. She's like, so bad, blah, blah, blah. In hindsight.
This is no good. This is no good.
No, but then looking back, the dad literally, I heard her say, like, don't worry, they'll sleep in separate rooms because they had a guest room and everything. We did not sleep in separate rooms.
Yeah, of course.
He let us sleep in the same room.
Yeah, of course he did. So her mom was pissed. She probably sniffed it out.
Oh my God. But anyways, that's why I brought that up, because I was like, it'll be interesting like to see what our rules and stuff's going to be like as he grows up.
That's crazy, yeah. All right.
What have our weekends been filled with?
What? Carter?
Our weekends are so different now. Well, number one, we don't drink anymore. But just the aquarium.
The maritime, just keeping Carter busy. Yeah.
Church.
The baby wants to stay busy, working out, church.
Where else have we gone?
I mean, kids' parties. It's
Yes, the kids' birthday parties.
that's
They're
just
so
like pure
cute, though.
chaos.
It's so cute. It's like that meme I sent you that was like,
Being a parent is traumatizing. Like the kids are almost fall. Like it's just I never knew how much kids get hurt. I never. I guess I probably knew. I don't know. I just never remember kids just always falling, hitting their head. Oh my God, where is he? Where is
Yeah.
that?
Well, I
But it's
remember.
all good. Like they're good. They're kids. They're
Yeah.
resilient. Parents, I think, are just crazier than they have to be.
I don't know. Yeah, and I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's traumatizing or if it's just like stressful because you panic more than the kid. Like the kid falls and then you have a heart attack, but then he's fine. You know?
It's the parent. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Wait, remember I told you about my friend? So now all of this that's going on, well, with like our, I don't know if this is not political, right? Talking about like RFK. It's definitely political. But now that everything, like we're very, I mean, him aside, we've been just as a family much more like what, health conscious?
Yeah, for sure.
And I was telling you.
Now anything you say that has to do with health, like you're trying to get healthy, it seems like
Political.
people are upset or
Yeah.
they think people want to just relate to something or just be a part of something. So yes, even if you mention, we're all health, we don't want to get our kids vaccines. People are like, shame you.
Yes. Well, we didn't say that. We
I mean, cut it out.
Okay, I mean, I don't give a shit. It's like, it's our fucking kid. It's our decision. Not that he's
you
not
should talk
vaccinated.
however
He
you want
is.
to
I'm
talk.
just
I mean,
saying. Whether we wanted to get him vaccinated or not is completely up to us.
Yeah.
Anywho, do you remember I was telling you my friend, she moved like upstate Connecticut. She got pigs.
Yeah.
So I told you that she got like pigs. She has like 3 or 4 pigs. Because I guess obviously we know like depending on like what they're feeding them. Like I don't know too much about this, but obviously they feed them like shit and corn and whatever.
Yeah.
So she is like,
the better their diet, the healthier the meat.
yes.
Yeah, of course.
Could you ever see yourself?
So she has 3 pigs, and then she kills them in the end, right?
Yes.
Yeah, to eat. That's absolutely asinine to me. If we had a pig on a farm and we owned it, he'd be sleeping in the bed with us. Like I can't.
literally wrote
It's
down.
just weird. I don't like bacon. I don't eat pork. You know. I don't like chuletas.
You like bacon.
I don't like.
No.
chuletas.
Nick doesn't like
It's
the
just
thought
everywhere.
of eating pork. But
When I
if
think
there's
of-
bacon, he's gonna eat it. And if there's chuleta, you're eating
Yeah, but like
2.
turkey bacon, I don't know. But
You
if
ate
we
real
owned,
bacon
Nicole
last
asked me,
week.
as I said, if we owned a pig, the pig would be in the house chilling. He'd be sleeping in the bed with us.
Yes, and I was like,
Pigs
that's
are
so
cute
true.
too. I would never own one, but yeah. Pigs are cute. They say pigs have like a better memory.
Yeah, that's why we can't have a farm because I would like get chickens and then get everything, and you'd be like, we can never kill this, and then we're just gonna.
No, yeah, I'd have to have someone else kill it. But they say if you,
I could never
It's
eat
kind of stupid because we eat meat, so we should be able to be self-sustainable and
I
kill it.
know.
You know, I saw this thing with that guy Matty Matheson. He's a cook and he killed the lamb. And he was like, yeah, I eat it, so I don't see it. And I just remember I couldn't watch it. And I'm like, damn, but I love lamb.
Do you think, you know how they have those shows where you go out and you like, oh, let's see if you could survive like 10 days in the wilderness or some shit? Do you think you wouldn't be able to do that? I wouldn't be able to do that. Most people could never do that.
If you decided to do that, you put your mind to it, yeah, you'd be able to survive. I mean, depending on the temperature, I don't know. But yes, your instincts kick in just like anything else in life. I don't think we'd die.
You don't think? I feel like I would just jump in freezing cold water and die. If I had no other option, like if I'm signing up for the show, I'm gonna do it.
Freezing cold water to just cold plunge or start the day.
What's the fastest way to die? I would just I'll
First of all, jumping in freezing cold water is not the fastest way to die.
I would just have to jump in front of like a lion or a bear or something who'd eat me.
Yeah.
Or do they give you
I
a
would
gun
make
to
it.
hunt while you're on those shows?
I mean, hopefully I would make
So
it. I
then
mean, if you didn't, depending on where you were, if you were in Yellowstone with like wolves and everything, I mean, maybe you'd get ate. I would probably start hanging out with the wolf pack. And
I don't think I would survive. Having to like stab and kill.
if you let the wolves kiss you in your mouth, they trust you. If not, you're toast.
Is that why the dogs are obsessed with you? Because you make out with them all the
I
time?
don't make out with the dogs. Puppies.
Don't lie to the people. We take better care of our dogs now. The dogs eat better than us.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. They eat like dogs. We like to people. That's something people should also be conscious of. You love your pets. You love your dogs. Check your
Do you
ingredients.
think 90% of Americans who have a dog are giving them filtered water and like non-GMO free range chicken,
Crunchy
organic.
moms are probably. I think crunchy moms are, and
Of course, but I'm just saying, like, most people don't do that.
yeah, I think most people
Most
just
people
feed
don't
their
even
dog shit. Yeah,
kibble. Don't say shit. We're not judging.
I'm not judging. No, get down.
We feed them kibble too.
Yes, good kibble. We've researched it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think most people do research. If you love your dog, I think it depends on.
I don't know.
love.
That's kind of bullshit though, because you said that the other day. You're like, well, if you want them to live forever, I heard something where they need to be eating non-GMO, gluten-free. They need to eat like us, yada yada yada.
No,
My poodle ate kibble his whole life
I
and
heard
literally lived 17 years.
Joe Rogan, it made sense. He said if dogs are just like us, they need a balanced diet. I mean, that makes sense. They're still living.
But they make kibble to be like a balanced diet, don't they? Isn't that what the vet told us?
Yeah, I mean, they make Doritos to be tortilla chips, right? Like,
I haven't heard that one. Fine. We're going to Dallas.
yeah, you're so excited about that.
Are you not?
I mean, I'm excited to go somewhere, yeah, because we haven't traveled in a little bit. Dallas, I've heard good things about it. We'll see.
From me.
I got a tattoo scheduled already.
And I'm getting my eyebrows tattooed while we're there.
That's dope. I can't wait to get tatted.
Microbladed.
I don't know what I like. I love tattoos. I don't know what I like about it, though.
Which is weird because you don't have like that many.
Well, I have the half.
Like when you hear something like I'm obsessed with tattoos, like, oh, you do have a half sleeve.
But I didn't start really getting into them until I was like way old, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
I told my mom, she's like,
What? Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, Nick already booked a tattoo appointment. He was like,
Yeah.
she's like, tell him no.
My mom's the same way. That generation, they'll never understand.
Never understand.
I remember when I got the portrait of my dad, or no, the seagull. Your dad was like, tatuajes.
Oh yeah. I remember my dad was like, if you ever get a tattoo, I'm not gonna talk to you. When I was like fishing to see if I can get a tattoo when I was like 18, he's like, I just like wouldn't talk to you anymore. And I was like, okay.
It's like not that big of a deal.
My dad is so soft. I like showed up with like 10 tattoos. I was like, hi. And he loves me too much. He's never
They're small one. I mean, it's different. If it's a small tattoo, like me, I'm gonna sleeve my leg, so it's a commitment. But if they're small tattoos.
What is that? Reverse psychology? We need the therapist to let us know if our kid wants to get a tattoo at like 16. What do we say? You can't be like, no, that's horrible, because then they're gonna want it more.
For me, I'm gonna tell them exactly my experience is like when you're 16, what you would naturally tattoo or want to tattoo on yourself is not gonna mean shit to you most likely, and when you're 30.
So what would you say? Wait till you're 30 to get a tattoo? I would just say,
just think your ideas, and wait, or maybe even in 25. Your 20s, just wait. Kids want to get stupid. Your Mickey Mouse tattoo, and then you're like, I got my first tattoo at 16, and it's like, not that I guess I regret it because I got to cover it up. I got to cover it up or remove it.
I got all of mine just kind of like on a wild.
Plus, the thing is like tattoos,
I don't regret though.
You have to get them touched up over time. They fade. So it's like, you don't have to do anything. Yeah. But the one since I'm 16, it looks crazy because your skin's growing so much and stuff. And yeah, it stretches out. But that is a tough one. I thought of that. It's like when I'm going to get my leg done and Carter's just like, Daddy, I want one too.
How's it going to work when we go to Dallas and you're going to be like, because you're getting like a tattoo that's going to take a few hours.
Yeah.
Do we like drop you off?
Probably.
Yeah.
It looks like it's like an old school kind of tattoo shop where they have like little bays. Looks cool though.
I personally think once you go to Dallas, you're not going to want to come back.
I don't, but we'll see.
You never lived anywhere but Connecticut.
That's New York. I lived in New York.
Oh, yeah.
I lived in New York till I was like 11.
But 12. Where in New York?
Westchester County. I liked it way better there. I mean, it's so fucking expensive, but yeah, I mean, I'm anxious to travel just because being from one state, it definitely, thank God I've traveled a lot in my life, so it's been able to expand my mind. I've researched and read.
But I do think from someone who's lived in a few different states, it's cool. Like, and I always said, like, I'm okay if I end up here. Like, end up here. But it's like, okay, well, before your kids start school, like you have 5 years. Like we have 5 years where we don't have to be like, oh, we're gonna have to move and then he has to leave his friends. Like, no, until they start school, it's like you still have that flexibility to go and move around if you wanted to, like live in a new city for a year or two. Like to me, it's not like uprooting and like I don't know, it just doesn't seem like that big of a deal to me. Versus like once you're like settled with kids and that you're leaving like lifelong friends, like your mom friends, you're leaving, like your kids are leaving their best friends from schools. And I think it's a lot harder once they do that, especially once they're like middle school and stuff, because they have like their like life, like some lifelong friends at that point in high school. But I do think like right now, if we wanted to, now it should be a good time, but we'll see. I don't think, but then maybe we could just visit.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted on that. Maybe we'll do a podcast out there.
Yes, we totally should. There's going to be so many places that I want to take you that I can't even, it's like so hard. I'm trying to like narrow it down. But we're going for a good amount of time. We're going Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like 5 days.
Yeah. I feel like there's just nothing to actually do in Connecticut. And even the people who are from Connecticut could probably agree with that. When you sent me the Dallas stuff, there's so many different things. Like, you know, they have the mocktail bar with the tattoo shop in it. I just feel like, and probably because everything's just so expensive here and it's a small state, that there's just nothing to do here. And if there is stuff to do, you have to just repeat it and do it over and over, you know? Or if it is some niche shit, it's just so fucking expensive that you can only afford to do it like once.
Yeah.
You know, it's just... Yeah, Connecticut, it's just, and you think about it when you have people
It's like suburbs though, because if you, like New York has a lot. I personally wouldn't want to live in New York. It's too chaotic for this stage in my life. But they have a lot of things to do, so that's awesome. I could have maybe done it if like it was just me and you and we did 1 year in New York, like Airbnb this and did a year in New York. Yeah, fuck it. I could do it. I could maybe to try it, to test it. I'm like that. I would
never want to live in Manhattan. It just doesn't entice me, and it's just too much anxiety.
I'm just saying for us, that's like a short. I don't know. It doesn't seem like as scary because it's right there. But I would do that. Like I would go and live somewhere for.
We know, Nicole, you've done it many times.
Yes, it does not scare me, but I just think like, I don't know. They always say like get out of your hometown, do whatever, and it's true because.
I believe that, yeah, for sure. Your hometown keeps you down. It keeps you limited.
And again, but I don't mind ending up here. I just think that there's just so many better places.
A lot of people, if you really think about it, a lot of people's hometown, not that it ruined their life, but it probably changed the course of their life or stopped things that they could do, because a lot of people try to start, let's say, singing or become a painter. And if you stay in your hometown, you know, there's no support, there's not going to be, and, you know, if you don't break out, like you said, and learn other things, meet new people, you'll never, you know, elevate. So it's like, it is very important to leave your hometown. I'm super for that.
And not necessarily move, because like what you just said right now, let's say I'm a painter or like a barber or something. If there's no one doing anything here that I can like learn or grow from, it's like you don't have to necessarily move, but buy the plane ticket, go somewhere else to at least meet new people where they are doing that stuff. Like a lot of people, like places like LA, Boston, the cities, they're more advanced with a lot of things. So like even like the nail techs, if you're in a city, every single nail salon uses like an online booking system. Every hair place has an online booking system. Every Botox, like whatever you want, dentist, everything has like it's just, and it's so much easier. So I'm like, if you want to be able to be the first, like in a smaller, I guess, place like Connecticut to be doing all those things, you don't necessarily need to move out, but you can go and learn or go into different cities and
practice and bring it back.
Yeah, and go out and network and meet other people who are doing these things, and you can learn from them, and then come back and apply it here. You'll be one of the first, you know. So then the demand is up.
That's the flip side. Yeah, is like you can absolutely go out, scout talent or how people do it, and then bring it back. Yeah, I agree.
All right. So before we get into our last segment, which is something I DM'd you, how have you been feeling now that you haven't been drinking?
Tons of more energy, more restful.
I do want to say you wake up like early.
Well, you have a baby. We have a baby house. not.
I know,
If
but
we didn't
even
have a baby, I probably wouldn't be waking up early. you know, because you want to wake up and be with him. Anyway.
yeah, before work and stuff.
But just way more energy, way more motivation. That's the one thing that is notable for me. Like when you're drinking a lot. I mean, I drink a lot, but you know, you're just kind of more passive, I think, but way more motivation. I'd say inspired a little bit, way less anxiety, tons of less anxiety, less depression. I mean, pretty much everything, guys.
Is better.
Quit drinking. Yeah, like especially if you should have mental health problems, anxiety, depression, you know, just quit drinking. Mm-hmm. That's all you have to do. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to diet.
Yeah. I've like quit, I guess, drinking, but I really just feel like I don't even enjoy it. Like even the other day I had a glass of wine and I was like, I don't know. I think about some of the videos that I see and it's like, yes, like drinking has become just like like almost like you need to do it like a way to socialize and stuff.
It is social. Because people are so insecure and just so damaged.
I don't even like it. I really
included,
don't.
And they can't open up. So it's like you need, you know, a drink or two to open up. I've seen it at networking events and stuff like that where you're just stiff and you have a couple of drinks. Oh, and you know, it helps you kind of get past your fear, but you really don't need it. That's the one thing too. I told you, once you stop, depending on how bad and how much of a problem you had, if you stop it, I could still have fun, genuinely dance and hang out with people and not drink. Mm-hmm. I don't see what the big deal of that. I think it has to do with the extremity of your addiction, maybe.
Yeah.
But I love drinking. It's fun as hell. But then once you quit, we love drinking, or people love drinking for like what they know it as when they're at like when they drink a little bit, you know, and they get it. When you stop drinking for like 3 months, 6 months, and then you try to have a few drinks, you're like done. And then your mind is just like, or your body's like, why did you do this again?
Yeah.
You know?
But even having that like 1 glass of wine or 2 glasses of wine, I'm like, I don't appreciate the feeling anymore. I don't really like the feeling. Like to me, it was like, that wasn't worth it. Like all I think is like calorie and how it's like killing your brain cells. And then I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's pretty awesome.
But again, to have how many drinks though? Because it's like, what's the point of having a glass of wine or like 2 glasses of wine? To me, it's like you're just killing your brain cells for no reason. I'd rather drink like once a year and like go hard, and then it's like you got drunk and you like felt it, but it's like I'm not feeling like a glass of wine. It's like I'm just and then I'm like I know I'm killing my brain cells. I'm like really like disrupting everything.
This thing is crazy.
All right, so what do you have your something I DM'd you? And by the way, this isn't.
How am I gonna get it?
Oh, do you remember what it is? I can just go into our DMs.
I'm not a big, just to let you know, guys, like
to prepare.
Sender of stuff. Nicole lights up DMs with stuff. So, what? I
would beg to differ. You send me stuff a lot.
Sometimes, not really. And
you send me at least 3 things every.
It's just like health stuff.
It doesn't matter what it is. You're still sending me shit every single day.
I hate doing it. It gives me anxiety when I look in my inbox and my wife sent me like 6 things, because it's like, fuck, I don't have the time when I'm checking usually to watch 6 things, and then she's like, you didn't watch what I sent you.
You sent me a fucking shark eating a girl's head off. Is that productive?
And then you watch them and they're all just people talking about how perfect their life is when it's not. They're probably people giving relationship advice who have miserable lives. Anyways.
Are you talking about Tucker Carlson? I love him.
I love that. I'm not going to talk about him that way.
Okay. You did send me, though, a woman.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's real, but go.
It says it's real. It happened at an aquarium in China.
Shit.
So I sent you something that said cuddling will put a woman into a peaceful state of mind. It can even reduce the stress and strain in her heart.
I know.
Is that true, guys?
For women, I guess. And then I cuddled you the next day. Can I see some of the ones I sent you?
Yeah. What's yours are like protecting children from chemical. Oh, wait, let me not. Cut.
What was the?
Wait, I want to talk about this. Do you know what this is?
What's the purpose of doomsday clock? Doomsday clock has been set to 89 seconds to midnight for the first time in history. No, I don't know.
Okay, this is what we're talking about, okay? So we're going to Google this. What is the doomsday clock? Okay.
The end of the world.
Yes.
What does that mean, the calculation there?
That's okay. Which site do we trust? Let me just click one of this. Oh, yeah. What is it? Okay. Ready? Mm-hmm. So the Instagram photo says doomsday clock has been set to 89 seconds to midnight for the first time in history. Mm-hmm. So I was like, what the fuck is that?
What does that mean?
So it says it's the closest it's ever been in 78-year history. So it says humanity is closer than ever to
It's basically, babe,
the end of the world.
Yes, the end of the world, but nuclear war. So where America is the closest they've ever been. There was a Cuban Missile Crisis when JFK was in presidency where they were threatening with nukes. But right now, currently where we're at, yeah, it's the closest because Russia has enough nuclear power to just push a button and essentially erase the USA.
It says the group meets annually to assess how close humanity is to self-destruction based on three main factors: climate change, nuclear, and disruptive technology such as artificial intelligence.
Right. So I would say I don't think climate change.
Is this scary?
Not if you.
I mean, why have I never heard of a doomsday clock like that? I thought that was like a joke when I read it.
It's all just reasons to get you clicked. Just pray to God and you'll be fine.
It says represents the moment at which people will have made the earth uninhabitable. Uninhabitable. That's scary. What? Why do we even have that? Anyways.
It's for people to scare people like you.
All right. Why we have that. Fine. Everything else you sent me is probably very political.
Yeah, well, just health-wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, thanks for coming to episode 21.
Episode 21, Mr. and Mrs. The Podcast. See you hopefully next week.